We got a good show planned here for you guys. We got a great show planned for you. Lots of fun things coming up. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to slide some things around because I had a guest and I lost him somewhere along the way. And I'm going to actually go around here right now and I'm going to change the show around and we're going to talk about our mailbag. So each week we actually, let me try that again. Each week we actually dig into our mailbag over on our website, which is What's on Sports. People actually leave all sorts of great comments and they're always asking us, can we ask you a question and maybe you guys can answer? And we feel free to do it. We let people jump in and ask these questions. So what we do is we call it our mailbag. And I'm going to dive in and I'm going to answer these questions right now. Our first question of the day, Falcons owner Arthur Blank said that Matt Ryan is tradable. Will he attract interest from other NFL teams? No. The answer quite simply is no. Matt Ryan is guaranteed $90 million over the next 3 years. Whoever trades for him will have to take on that salary. So you only take Matt Ryan if you're this close to being a champion. So there aren't a lot of teams that I can think about right now that are this close that just need a quarterback. Now, you may say to yourself, well, what about New Orleans? New Orleans might be able to take him. Well, if New Orleans doesn't believe that they have a quarterback on their roster, and I think they believe they have two, if they don't believe they have a quarterback on their roster that can actually play, well, then there's going to be maybe some conversation there. What about Indianapolis? Indianapolis is going through a Phillip Rivers experiment right now, which very well could be ending very, very soon. So if it were to end, then I would say that maybe Indianapolis could be someone that we can see Matt Ryan being traded to. Now, the other question is he tradable? Maybe. What are they going to ask for him? So in order to take on a $30 million salary, what are you willing to give up? Most people aren't willing to give up a second or third round draft pick for something like that. That's strong draft capital that could bring you a superstar for the future. So it would have to be a team that's in the perfect situation. If you're asking me if Matt Ryan is tradable, look, any deal can get done in business, but this one will be very tough to make happen. Let's take our next question. Earl Thomas had disappointing endings in his stints with the Seahawks and the Ravens. Will he ever play in the NFL again? I would say the answer is no. At the very end of his run in Seattle and at the very end of his run at the Ravens, Earl Thomas was really framed as a malcontent. So for the amount of money that somebody like Earl Thomas demands, which at one point he could have very easily said, I deserve that money, and most people would have agreed. For the amount of money that Earl Thomas would ask for, I don't think a lot of people are going to be willing to pay that kind of money. I think you're dealing with a player who has a lot of off the field, on the field issues that have maybe rubbed teammates the wrong way. And when people hear about that, you don't want to deal with a player like that. Now, you deal with a player like that that's still on his peak playing performance, you think you can make it work. Earl Thomas is not that player anymore. Earl Thomas, in fact, had been sliding as a player for quite a bit and has continued to slide. So I don't see Earl Thomas being that guy. All right, last on the list for our mailbag. Do you see a scenario wherein Jimmy Garoppolo returns to the New England Patriots? I do not. And this one is really simple to me. For those of the people out there that actually follow what Bill Belichick does and how Bill Belichick has been able to build the dynasty that he was able to build over the last 17 years, to me, it's a very simple recipe. I mean, obviously, Bill is all about the details. He's all about the coaching, and he's all about making sure he gets his hands on as many smart players as he can. And the only way Bill can do that is by, A, getting as many draft picks as possible. I can't even tell you how many times over the last couple of years that Bill Belichick has traded down out of the first round or second round to accumulate more picks later on. Because Bill Belichick actually realizes something that the other 31 teams haven't figured out yet. The NFL draft is not an exact science. In fact, it's a crapshoot. So you never know what you're going to get. So Bill, I think, has these measurables that he likes, and I think one of them is an intelligence factor, football IQ, and I think Bill values that over anything else. And because of that, because of the fact that Bill values that more than anything, Bill will draft as many players as he can. Now, what does this mean about Jimmy Garoppolo? Basically, you're not going to get Jimmy Garoppolo for free. Someone is going to ask for a lot of draft picks, some draft picks. And I don't think that Bill Belichick is willing to give away that kind of draft capital. Now, the other issue is that contract. Jimmy Garoppolo still got 2 years left on the contract, and it's a big one. It's not a small contract. So New England's pretty tight up against the cap. So there would have to be some real major adjustments done in order to bring Garoppolo back into a system where he used to be okay in. Now, there's also the discussion of Jimmy Garoppolo's actual play, which has been on the downslide. Last year, Garoppolo was serviceable, not great. If he was going to take the leap, this would have been the year he took the leap. And guys, I got to tell you, right now, we're just not seeing that leap from Garoppolo. So, do I see a scenario where Jimmy Garoppolo returns to the New England Patriots? Only if he's cut. If he's cut, if he goes to the Patriots on a cheap, kind of veteran deal, I see it happening. On a straight-up trade, I do not see it happening. And that's our mailbag for the day. If you guys want to leave us any questions, drop some information, go over to our website, which is whatsonsports.com today, so that you can, leave us some information, give us some content to help us out with the show.